Alright, Garmin nuvi 2457. Notice it's showing this right up front. I don't have this connected to a traffic adapter. This sucker actually has the traffic built in. That's kind of nice. So I can tap on that and see the stuff and whatever. Actually, yeah, let me show that. Pretty cool, huh? Let me just get rid of that. Okay. I want to point this out right up front. Yes, it has the bigger text. This is a 4.3 inch. It's a 2457 LMT, which means it operates exactly the same as the 2557 and the 2597. Why did I get it? Well, I wanted to know. Is the font, specifically up here, is it big enough? Let me just get this a little better in view there. That's about good enough. Is the font big enough for just regular use? The answer is yes. Because when I looked at photos of this thing, Garmin photos specifically, on the product page, it doesn't show this. It shows the fonts as being significantly smaller. So that's why I got a 2455 that I did in another video. But then I saw this really old video on YouTube from QVC that showed this thing a 2557 or a 2597, and the fonts were larger. So I said, I had to know. So I found one of these for cheap on eBay, and I bought it, and I just got it, and yeah, it does have the larger fonts. So I'm actually quite happy with this thing. This thing is great for smaller cars. For larger SUVs, no. So what I'm going to get into with this one is the best parts about this, the pros and the cons. Now the pros is right up here. This text right here. Yeah, you get to see your little traffic things when it's doing its thing and whatever, calculating a route. This is nice. The font, plenty big. But where this fails, and there's really only one real failing of this, is the speed limit. Now, although in this video it's easy to see, in person, that thing is tiny. That is so tiny. So yeah, as far as using this thing regularly, well, if you don't look at the speed limit that often, or if you don't care, this one's great. But if you do care about seeing that speed limit, then yeah, tough to read. Similar can be said for the current street down here. That can also be a little tough to read. But this is the stuff that matters more. The map is plenty legible, no problems there. Now, as far as the trip data fields, it's the same as I showed in another video setting it up on a DriveSmart 50. You can change these to a whole bunch of different fields if you want. No problem. Shows up right up there. Oh, I'm glad this is showing that. Yeah, so this is what live traffic actually looks like. That's kind of cool. And I really dig the fact that this is working without the need for a GTM 36 or a GTM 60. That's a big selling point of this thing. I should also note that in the 5-inch version, the nuvi 2599 also has it built in. The traffic antenna is built into it. Now, being this is a 2457, I would assume, although I can't prove this because I don't have one, that since the 2457 has it, the 2557 also has it, and the 2597. Okay, and you see this red along the side here? So that's indicating construction, slow down, and so on. And if I tap this and I go to traffic, I can bring this back up and then tap it, and it will show me information is lane closure. See the next one. Yeah, and it gives me the extended information there. Oh yeah, and it shows how long it's going to be and the length. Yeah, that's really tiny text there, but hey, it's here. And there's that one for this information, and again, extended information. There we go. Yep. So if you've never seen it, that's the way to see it. If there was a better route, it would give me the option for one. That's kind of cool. And if you've never seen this before, in the settings for traffic, you can have it set up to automatically optimize the route, or it will give you the option, do you want to reroute or not? And your subscriptions, this does come with a lifetime subscription built in, so you don't need to pay for it. It's even better. And for the traffic alerts, you can get, if you don't like it, you can turn it off or get basic or most. That's cool too. One thing that I do like about this a lot is, now by the way, if you don't know how to set up these menus or anything, look at my other videos on how to set up a portrait view vertical mode for this. Anyway, the detour feature is cool because if I do detours here, I can just tap this and whap, and then I can choose right from my current route, this is what I want to avoid. Or I can say just avoid the next half a mile, 2 miles, or 5 miles. This thing is thoughtfully set up. I kind of like this a lot. Is it better than the Drive 52? No. It doesn't have the turns feature. It doesn't have that. But it's got everything else. The only annoyance I found with this unit is that it does have school zone warnings that you cannot turn off. But that's it. So when you pass by a school zone, it's going to change this up here to orange and say, hey, yo, you got a school zone you're passing through. Now, it doesn't do this all the time. The school zones only, the school zone alert only comes up when A, you're passing by one, and B, daylight hours during school session. I don't know if this information is transferred over the traffic antenna or if it's just guessing. I would assume it's just guessing what normal school hours are. I don't think there's anything else I can really show. Oh, there is one other thing. This thing has backup camera support. Now that's kind of a little bit of a joke considering how small this screen is, but still, I don't know which backup camera, if the BC30 or whatever is compatible with it. I'd have to look that up, but okay. The eco route thing, you can only get that if you've got that little what's that thing called? OBD2 connector. If you've got the thing with the OBD, it's honestly not worth it to do. I mean, you can, but I wouldn't bother because you have to route yet another wire, because you've got this, you've got the power adapter, and then you've got the little I don't think it's wireless, so you have to actually route it to the OBD2 connector in the car. And yeah, you do get a thing that shows you engine information on your Garmin, kind of cool, but the just the wiring part of it, that's the deal breaker for me. Okay, aside from that, yeah, you've got the regular stuff here where you can add shortcuts, remove shortcuts, you've got your categories, you've got your recent. And as far as what you can add here, this is the stuff you can add. It's just like the 2597 in a smaller version. And the last thing I'll say is, okay, so this is a 2457. What's the difference between a 57 and a 97? There's only one. The 97 has a voice command control, and the 57 does not. That's literally the only difference. So if you absolutely have to have the voice command, that's when you get the 2497 or 2597. If you don't need it, then you get a 57. And yeah, this will be the very last thing I say. if you do a search, yeah, you do have to deal with this crap. As an QWERTY keyboard on a portrait view, this is not easy to type on. It is not. So if you do, like I showed in my other video, where you just categorize all your stuff by area, and these are categories here, this makes it way easier to use. Oh, and yeah, by the way, it does have drag, so you can do the drag thing if you want, like a smartphone. If you do it like this, where you categorize all your favorites, then this makes it much easier to use, because don't even think about typing in text on this thing while driving. You shouldn't do that in general, but especially if you're using this in a portrait view. And okay, and yeah, I'll end on this. This is the 2457 and 2497. If you need something smaller, and you need something that can do vertical mode, as in a portrait view, this is the best one for that in the 4.3 inch form factor, bar none. Absolutely. Yeah. Which is the main reason I wanted to get it. Now, the 2455 is nice, but this thing is so much faster as far as screen response, as far as map drawing, as far as just general operation, route calculation, everything. This thing is just plain faster to a speed I would expect, operation speed. So there you go, 2457 LMT, exactly the same as the 2497 LMT, but without voice control. And if you want a 5-inch version of this, again, that's the 2557 or the 2597.